This is Marty Friedman. You're watching Alejandrosis. Very, very cool YouTube channel. And I suggest you keep watching this channel. And I really suggest that you go to the show in Bogota on June 16th. We have come from Japan for you, and we have so many surprises. And it's going to be a night of history being made. And we want you to make history with us together. So I can't wait to see all my parceros in Bogotá. See you soon.
Marty Friedman es un virtuoso guitarrista de origen estadounidense, pero que reside hace 20 años en Japón. Es dueño de una técnica y estilo donde se conjugan corrientes como el heavy metal, el rock progresivo, el pop japonés, el neoclásico y por supuesto el thrash metal. Es muy recordada su estancia en Megadeth, donde en los años 90 conformó muy seguramente la mejor alineación de semejante grupo. Por su cuenta ha publicado más de una docena de álbumes, siendo Drama de 2024 el más reciente de ellos. Lo mejor es que Marty Friedman llega en concierto a Bogotá este 16 de junio con un espectáculo programado en la Escuela de Música Fernando Sor. Allí interpretará parte de este material fresco junto a clásicos de su carrera, acompañado por una agrupación compuesta por músicos nipones. En la antesala de esta visita, quiero compartirles mi entrevista con esta figura de las 6 cuerdas. Sean ustedes bienvenidos a Alejandrosis. Aprovecho para invitarlos a suscribirse al canal de Alejandrosis si aún no lo han hecho, activar las notificaciones y si les gusta este video, por favor, compártanlo. Un me gusta también nos ayuda mucho a seguir creciendo. Marty Friedman nació en 1962, creció en la zona de Baltimore y desde muy temprana edad se afiebró a la guitarra eléctrica, conformando la agrupación Deuce. Poco después se iría a vivir a Hawái, donde también allí creó una nueva banda, la cual cambió varias veces de nombre y de integrantes y con la cual tuvo el chance de grabar 3 discos. Estando en Hawái, se puso a estudiar muy en serio la guitarra, aprendiendo de la música regional, la música japonesa, la del Medio Oriente. Todo eso le permitió agregar exóticas texturas a su estilo. En 1981 contactó al sello especializado en shredders, en guitarristas veloces Sharpnel, pero no sería sino hasta 1987, acompañado de su buen amigo Jason Baker, que conseguirían un contrato conformando una agrupación llamada Cacophony y editando un disco que causó gran revuelo entre los guitarristas virtuosos, Speed Metal Symphony. Con ese contrato también aprovechó la oportunidad para lanzar un primer trabajo en solitario llamado Dragon's Kiss en 1988. Cacophony lanzó un disco más y entonces, ya llegando la década de los 90, cada uno, tanto Jason Baker como Marty Friedman, tomaron su propio camino. Fue entonces que nuestro protagonista se unió a Megadeth justo a tiempo para grabar ese poderoso álbum llamado Rust in Peace y solo 2 años después Countdown to Extinction. Ni qué decir de Euthanasia de 1994, producción que por cierto tuvimos el agrado de reseñar en este canal a propósito de sus 30 años de historia. Más adelante, en 1997, vendría Cryptic Writings, un álbum que también me agrada mucho, y posteriormente la historia junto a Dave Mustaine se terminaría de escribir en 1999 con el controversial Risk. En medio de esos álbumes, Marty Friedman lanzó 3 discos como solista, pero fue con Music for Speeding de 2003 que ya tomaría una seguidilla por su cuenta. En 2018, este guitarrista debutó en concierto en Bogotá, en la Escuela de Música Fernando Sor, el mismo lugar donde ahora volverá a presentarse en 2025. Esta entrevista parte por ahí, preguntándole acerca de sus anécdotas y por qué Colombia es un país tan importante para él.
Well, Bogota last time we played there, it was a wonderful show. But after the show, I met the guys in Apolo Siete, and we became very, very good friends. So this was kind of a very big reason why I wanted to make sure that if I ever came to South America to tour again, we would definitely be playing in Bogota again and definitely have Apollo Siete on the bill with us. So that was like kind of the cornerstone of the tour. We wanted to make sure that the Bogota show was going to happen and that we could do something together because we're going to do some things that are not going to happen on the rest of the cities, the rest of the countries. It's going to be a very special night. Um, the last time it was just so meaningful for us because I'd been playing in South America for many years, but I'd never played in Colombia before with any other bands. The first time I played in Colombia was with my band, so I'm very proud about that. And so it became a new territory for me. And so that's why it was kind of like in the beginning stages of putting the tour together, was like the only thing I want to make sure that we're doing is we're playing in Bogota.
Okay, this is very interesting. You said you met the guys with Apollo Siete in that concert, but I want to know what made so special that you decide not only play it with them, as you said, it will be happen, but also to record a couple of songs. I believe one of a cover, Spanish romantic song, Eres Tú, and also I heard your last album, and the final track is Dos Rebeldes. This is wonderful. You played with a Colombian band and also in Spanish. Tell me what happened. What is the chemical between you and them?
Well, we just had an immediate connection, and it's very rare. As you can imagine, I receive CDs and music from bands every day, all the time. And I try to listen to as many as I can, but very, very, very rarely do I meet the people or have some kind of musical connection. But when I heard the Apollo Siete CD, I was so impressed by the music that I reached out to them. And then we became friends. And I said, let's record Eras 2. And we did. I just knew that there was more things going to happen in the future with them. And then I played on a bunch of their songs. And then I had a song that I wanted to be sung in Spanish, and I wanted Apolo Siete to write lyrics to it, and it was Dos Rebeldes, and they did such an amazing job with it. I think it's the thing is, Apolo Siete is doing something similar to what I do, which is their heart is in heavy metal, but their mind is in pop. And they also have a very much pride in Colombian music and their own heritage from their country. Those three things, the metal, pop, and the music of their country. And it's the same with me, except the music from my country is actually Japan and not America. But those three things, very, very strong in Apollo Siete's music, very, very strong in my music. So I found a very special connection with them. And of course, even before I met them during the Bogota show, I couldn't believe how great the audience was. It was my first time playing there, but the fans were like they'd been supporting me for years. So I just found so many good things about the whole country and the city, and it was just a very new experience for me.
Great to hear that, and I hope that you enjoyed this new experience in my country. As I said, I listened with I put a lot of attention on your brand new record, Drama, and I like it. And I want to tell you why, because this is the kind of records that really I really like to put my headphones, close my eyes, and takes me to another words that I can describe. What I like the most is the balance that you give the melodies, but with power and dynamics. I want to ask you, is drama a major leap forward in your discography? And how do you manage to unite the heavy rock that characterizes you and your taste with other types of music?
Well, first of all, thank you for your very kind words. Um, I think definitely drama is a huge step up for me. Um, I find that as I continue playing, my composition abilities become better and better with orchestrating and better with arranging and better with guitar playing. And all of those things seem to come together. Um, and the main purpose is to give people a melody to grasp onto. And doing that doesn't mean just repeating a melody. You have to put the melody in a framework that makes people feel something. They listen to it and hopefully they feel better than not listening to it. You know, you listen to it and you feel good about things. And that, it sounds like a very abstract goal, but that's what I'm shooting for. And that's what I think I'm getting better at over the years. And drama's by far the best I've done, in my opinion, anyway. Everyone else is free to have a different opinion, but I think I'm the most pleased with drama.
Wow, great. Talking about the set list, I saw that you include Illumination, a fabulous track. The opening track, it's almost 7 minutes. That blows my mind, as well as Deep End, one and another of my favorites, and Tearful Confession, right? Why you choose these songs and how to work alongside your older material?
Well, I've done those three songs in tour, and we'll probably do those in Colombia, but we change the set list all the time. But the main goal is in my concerts to have very high peaks and very low valleys, and very much um, contrast with impact. So if I do go and play a song like, for example, Illumination, it will likely come after something that's very brutally aggressive because that will make it sound even more like a it's a ballad, but after something that's very, very aggressive, like for example, Elixir or something like that, it's gonna feel even more like a ballad. So I'm constantly trying to make the show feel like there's many points of impact in it.
Estamos en la previa de Marty Friedman de regreso en Colombia. La siguiente pregunta tiene que ver con el proceso de composición y es que hay muchas maneras de hacer canciones. Hay gente que, por ejemplo, toma los ensayos como punto de partida. Hay guitarristas que van grabando cosas que se les ocurren a cada momento en el celular. Otros prefieren retomar viejas ideas que a veces vienen de hace más de 10 años y seguir depurándolas. Bueno, ¿cómo hace Marty Friedman? Nos cuenta a continuación.
All of the things that you listed, I've done them all. I have thousands of things in my cell phone. Um, I've recorded on tour. I do a lot of arrangements on tour. Once something is recorded and released, that's fine. But like when I do live versions, it's almost always different because I have the freedom. Sometimes things work differently live. When you're listening, like you said, in the headphones and you're getting transported to a different place, it's kind of different atmosphere than being in a room with lots of people and an exciting concert presentation. So we do edits and we improvise and we play with the audience and we get the audience involved. So most of our live versions are different from what's on the album. So it's constantly new creating of new songs and writing in every possible way possible. There's no rules.
Okay, let's talk about the band that will accompany, play with you here in Colombia. How did you find your current musicians? What can you tell me about them, please?
Yeah, this right now is the most um the I've always had great chemistry with all my bands. But this band is by far the most best chemistry I've ever had. And we're changing the name from Marty Friedman to Marty Friedman Band, um, because it's a band. Um, People say, why don't you get into a band? Well, I've been in a band for 20 years, but it's just been my name. So we're adding the word band to Marty Friedman so people really understand that who haven't seen us live. If you've seen us live, you'll know that you may come to see me, but you're going to leave remembering my band because they're going to outshine me every night. So a little bit about each member. Drummer is Chargy, and he was there last time I played in Bogota. He's been in my band for like 15 years. And the guitarist is Naoki, who's been in my band for 8 years. And he's just a genius on guitar. I think people are going to really get excited watching him play. And the bassist is Waka Zaimon, and she's been in my band for 4 years now. And she's an incredible bass player. She's so small. She's like a little tiny little girl, but her bass sounds like a big, huge, fat football player. It's really an incredible thing to see that gap. And she plays on the drama album as well, so you can hear her on that. But it's the band chemistry we have is like it's seamless. It's like a four-cornered diamond.
No me sorprende que Marty Friedman hable también de los músicos que le acompañan. Tuve la oportunidad de verlo en ese debut en la Escuela de Música Fernando Sor y estaba claro que no es un guitarrista que busque opacar a los otros. Es realmente un artista que valora mucho el trabajo en conjunto. Bueno, él escribió una autobiografía publicada el año pasado llamada Dreaming in Japanese, soñando en japonés. Así que la conversación sigue por ahí, preguntándole qué fue lo más difícil, cuáles fueron las anécdotas que más le costaron llevar al papel. Por cierto, me encantaría leer ese libro.
Thank you very much. Um, yeah, it was easy to remember everything because I never really had any kind of drug problems or alcohol problems. So my brain is very sharp and my memories and recollection is very, very clear. And so remembering everything was good. The hardest part was kind of writing in such a way that people care about things. Um, Sometimes if you're telling so many inside jokes, you know what I mean, things that only other band members would understand or only family members would, I'm bored when I read books like that. I want the reader to understand every single thing and not have to do extra research. You know what I mean? So I kept it very simple and conversational, very easy to read. Um, it's not so incredibly intelligent writing. It's very conversational. I have so many fans in foreign countries, and their English may be good, but it's not perfect English. Um, so I wrote in such a way that it's very easy to understand, even if you don't have perfect English. I don't like when I'm reading a book and it just sounds like a textbook. It's very academic, very difficult to read. Um, So it's like this conversation we're having right now. I like to keep things conversational. And I also, the other hard part was trying to write in such a way that the people involved, people I'm writing about, would um, forgive me if I said things that maybe hurt their feelings or don't make them look so good, because I wanted to tell the truth. I wanted to tell the truth about everybody, and I wanted to tell the truth about myself. So I don't always look so good in the book. I say so many things about myself that make me look bad or embarrassed, but that's, if you can't write that stuff, it's not good to write an autobiography. So there's a lot of kind of embarrassing personal things in the book about myself. And that was not easy to write down because I don't want everybody to know all this stuff, but that's what an autobiography is. So I said, fuck it. I'm just going to say everything so people really know who I am as a person. I'm not so cool all the time. And so that's what the book is about.
Wonderful. Is that honest? I love the title, by the way. Do you dream in Japanese or English? I don't know. And also, could you please tell me what brought you to live in that country so far and how difficult was to adapt to the Asian culture, the Japanese culture?
Well, yeah, that it's funny. So many people ask me if I dream in Japanese, and I do. I do, as a matter of fact. Not always, sometimes. But since so many people asked that question, I thought it might be a good title for the book. And so that was easy. And I moved to Japan strictly because I wanted to be a part of the Japanese music scene. And I love Japanese music. I wanted to make Japanese music. And the only way to really do that is to be there. I was already speaking Japanese as a hobby, and I was fluent before I moved there. Um, but when I moved, it's like I started a new life from zero because I didn't really know anybody in the world of Japanese music. But starting from zero was a big, big challenge, and I was very, very lucky. And yeah, so I basically was able to do exactly what I wanted to do in
Right.
Japan.
Since this year to 2025, excuse me, you have performed many concerts in the United States. Do you feel back to your homeland? Do you feel the things have changed so much in the United States in terms of the audiences, of the country situation in recent years?
I feel like the audiences are getting younger for my music, which is great. There's more girls coming now than before, which is great. I think my fans are not just heavy metal and guitar fans, but there's a lot of people interested in Japanese culture who are discovering me because I'm some kind of representative of Japanese culture for Americans. And so new people are coming into my world, and I enjoy that very much.
Imposible no hablar con el señor Marty Friedman y preguntarle por su pasado en Megadeth, o bueno, por un pasado reciente, ya que en el año 2023 él volvió a unirse a Dave Mustaine y compañía en un show histórico que se realizó en un recinto que es muy querido en Japón, el Budokan. Ahí Marty Friedman se subió al escenario después de muchos, muchos años para tocar canciones como Countdown to Extinction, Tornado of Souls y por supuesto el clásico Symphony of Destruction. ¿Cómo sucedió esto? ¿Qué experiencia fue para él en su vida? Esto nos cuenta más a continuación.
Very simple. Dave just sent me an email. He said, have you ever played Budokan before? And I said, yeah. Maybe I'd played 7 or 8 times before. And he says, do you want to play it again? with us? And I said, shit, yeah. I was very excited about that because, I've done a lot of things with Megadeth, and I thought my Megadeth time is complete, but the only thing that's incomplete is we never played Budokan together. So when Dave asked me to play Budokan with him and Megadeth, it meant a lot to me because it was both of our dream. Back when I was in the band, we both dreamed of playing in Budokan, and that was the only one thing that we couldn't do together. We had a lot of great years together, 10 great years, many platinum albums, many sold out tours, um, success after success. But the only thing that was left was we never played the Budokan together. So it was very sweet that he remembered our dream together and that he asked me to do it. And it was a wonderful experience, not just for us, but for the fans. You could see people, they were just smiling, big smiles, tears, screaming. It was like a love letter to the fans, and it was a very special, very nice moment.
Final question, final question. You are a role model for the guitarists, for the young, as you said, you have young audiences. What advice can you give to the young guitarists that maybe are worried about a lot of the technology, a lot of the competence? My question is, when you start, how important is to have traditional academic values between the passion and the, I don't know how to say, the skills that you come when you are born? Some words of advice.
Question. I don't think anybody really comes born with any skill. Every skill that everyone has is something they worked for. And I'm no genius. And a lot of the people that we look up to, we're all just regular people. But we've been doing this a long time. And we've been doing it in front of people for a long time. So my advice is, of course, education is great if you can get it. But even without a formal education, if you play in front of people at any level, if you play in front of people, you will get all the education you need. That's all you need, is to play in front of people. Doesn't matter how good you are, amateur, professional, beginner, advanced. If you play in front of people, it forces you to do your best. If you're playing at home or practicing at home, nothing matters. No one hears you. No one sees you. But if you play in front of your family, your friends, your school, anywhere, concerts, shows, any situation, in the street, in the train station, if you play in front of people, you will remember your mistakes. You will remember what works good and what doesn't. And there's your education. So that's my advice.
Estupendo, amigas y amigos. Ahí estaba la palabra de Marty Friedman. Qué honor tenerlo aquí en nuestro canal. Quiero agradecer al señor Dick Carvajal y por extensión al club de fans de Megadeth en Colombia. No cabe duda que este es un club de fans que se toma las cosas muy en serio. Cada vez que Megadeth ha visitado nuestro país, aquello se convierte en una fiesta histórica, y bien que lo saben sus integrantes. Así que muy pilo Dick con todo lo relacionado con el universo de Megadeth, ahí haciendo el contacto con uno de sus ex integrantes más célebres. En los comentarios quiero que por favor me indiquen cómo les parece la música de este guitarrista en solitario, si van a ir al concierto o si ven este video posteriormente, cómo les pareció. A todos los leo, a todos les respondo. Quiero invitarlos a que me sigan en mis diferentes redes sociales con más contenido relacionado. Mi nombre es Alejandro Bonilla, es un gusto compartir con ustedes. Les invito nuevamente a suscribirse al canal y muy pronto nos volvemos a encontrar aquí para hablar de la música que más nos gusta, rock and roll.